bodies that represent the interests of employees. Two common forms are the Spokesperson Committee and the Works Council. Although both bodies pursue similar objectives, there are significant differences in their structure, function, and legal basis. First, Works Council. The Works Council is a statutory body that can be elected in companies with more than 5 employees entitled to vote. The legal basis for the formation and tasks of the Works Council are set out in the Works Constitution Act, Better v.G. Tasks and rights. Representation of employee interests. The Works Council represents the interests of the workforce vis-a-vis the company management. Codetermination. It has codetermination rights in various matters, such as working hours, holiday arrangements, and social matters. Information and consultation. The Works Council has the right to be informed about important company decisions and can make suggestions for improving working conditions. Second, Spokesperson Committee. The Speakers Committee, on the other hand, is a body elected by senior employees. This usually comprises 1 to 5% of the entire workforce.
Codetermination is a central element of industrial relations in Europe and varies considerably from country to country. It refers to the rights of employees to be involved in decisions that affect their working conditions and the company. Here are some of the main models of codetermination in different European countries. First, Germany. Dual codetermination. In Germany, there is a dual system of codetermination that operates at both company and supercompany level. The Works Council, which consists of elected employee representatives, has extensive codetermination rights in social and economic matters. In large companies, there are also supervisory boards in which employee representatives have a fixed share, e.g. 50% in companies with more than 2,000 employees. This model promotes close cooperation between employers and employees. Second, Scandinavia. Codetermination. In the Scandinavian countries, such as Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, codetermination is strongly developed and is often referred to as codetermination. Trade unions play an important role here, and there are legal regulations that promote codetermination in companies. Employees have the right to participate in decisions on working conditions, wages, and company strategies. In many cases, employee representatives are also represented on supervisory boards. Third, France. Works Council and Economic Commission. In France, there are works councils, Comités d'entreprise, that must be set up in companies with more than 50 employees. These bodies have the right to advise and inform on economic and social issues. There is also an Economic Commission that deals with strategic company decisions. However, codetermination is often less pronounced than in Germany or the Scandinavian countries. Fourth, the Netherlands. Social dialogue. In the Netherlands, codetermination is promoted through a social dialogue that takes place between employers' associations, trade unions, and the government. In companies with more than 50 employees, there's a Works Council that has a say in social and economic issues. Codetermination is less formalized here than in Germany, but there is a strong tradition of dialogue and cooperation. Fifth, United Kingdom. Informal codetermination. In United Kingdom, codetermination is less formalized than in many other European countries. There is no legal obligation to form works councils, but many companies have informal mechanisms for involving employees in decision-making processes. Trade unions play an important role, but codetermination is often limited to negotiations on wages and working conditions. Conclusion: codetermination in Europe is diverse and reflects the different cultural, political, and economic contexts of the individual countries. While some countries, such as Germany and the Scandinavian states, have strong legal frameworks for codetermination, other countries, such as the UK, are more informal in their approaches. These differences influence not only industrial relations, but also corporate culture and employee satisfaction in each country.
In Germany, works councils play a decisive role in the codetermination and participation of employees in company decisions. It is important to distinguish between the two terms as they have different legal bases and implications. Codetermination refers to the right of works councils to actively participate in company decisions, particularly in social and personnel matters. This is regulated in the Works Constitution Act, Better v.G. Codetermination covers issues such as working hours, holiday arrangements, and dismissals. In certain cases, such as in larger companies, works councils even have a say on the supervisory board, which gives them a voice in the company's strategic decisions. Participation, on the other hand, describes the possibility for works councils to be involved in decision-making processes without having a direct say. This can take the form of information rights or consultation rights. Participation is often less formalized and can take various forms, such as regular discussions with company management or participation in certain committees. To summarize, co-determination gives works councils a stronger and legally enshrined say, while participation is more informal in nature and gives works councils the opportunity to express their opinions and concerns without having a decisive voice. However, both aspects are important in representing the interests of employees and promoting a positive working environment.
The Works Council plays a central role in German labor law, particularly in accordance with Section 80 of the Works Constitution Act, BETRVG. This paragraph sets out the tasks and duties of the Works Council, which aim to represent the interests of employees and promote a harmonious working environment. The main tasks of the Works Council include monitoring compliance with laws, regulations, collective agreements, and company agreements that are of importance to employees. The Works Council also has the right to have a say in the organization of working conditions, working hours, and other important aspects of working life. This usually takes the form of discussions and negotiations with the company management. Another important aspect is the promotion of equality and the prevention of discrimination in the workplace. The Works Council actively supports the interests of all employees and ensures that their voices are heard. This also includes support in the event of conflicts between employees and employers. To summarize, the Works Council, in accordance with Section 80 BETRVG, is an indispensable institution that helps to protect the rights of employees and create a positive working atmosphere. Through its work, it not only promotes the well-being of employees, but also contributes to the stability and productivity of the company.
Works councils play an important role in the corporate structure and have become increasingly important in recent years. Scientific studies have shown that works councils not only represent the interests of employees, but also have positive side effects for companies and the entire working environment. One of the key findings is that works councils help to improve job satisfaction. Through co-determination and the opportunity to voice concerns and suggestions, employees feel valued and listened to. This can lead to higher motivation and productivity. In addition, studies show that companies with works councils often have lower staff turnover. When employees feel that their voice counts and that their working conditions are actively shaped, they are more willing to stay with the company. This not only saves costs for recruiting new employees, but also promotes a stable and experienced team. Another positive side effect is the promotion of innovation. Works councils can act as a link between employees and management and thus stimulate the exchange of ideas and suggestions. This can lead to more creative solutions and better adaptability of the company to market changes. To summarize, works councils not only protect employees' rights, but also help to create a positive working environment that benefits both employees and the company. Academic evidence shows that good cooperation between the Works Council and company management is crucial for long-term success.
The history of works councils and co-determination in Germany. The development of works councils and co-determination in Germany is closely linked to the history of the labor movement and the political upheavals of the 20th century. During the Weimar Republic, 1919 to 1933, co-determination experienced a significant upswing. After the First World War and the November Revolution of 1918, the social question became more pressing. The Weimar Constitution of 1919 laid the foundations for worker co-determination in companies. The Works Councils Act of 1920 created the legal basis for the formation of works councils. These bodies were to represent the interests of employees and have a voice in the company. The works councils were able to have a say in many areas, which led to greater involvement of workers in company decisions. However, these developments were also characterized by political tensions and the economic instability of the time, which ultimately contributed to the weakening of the works councils. After the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, Germany was faced with the challenge of establishing a new democratic system. The Allies encouraged the creation of works councils as part of the Reconstruction process. In 1949, the Works Constitution Act came into force, which clearly regulated the rights and duties of works councils and further consolidated co-determination in companies. At this time, co-determination was seen not only as a means of improving working conditions, but also as an important part of democratic culture in Germany. The 1950s and 1960s saw further advances in co-determination, particularly with the introduction of the Co-Determination Act in 1976, which gave employees in large companies a say on the supervisory board. These developments are an expression of the continuous endeavor to strengthen employees' rights and create a fairer working environment. Overall, the history of works councils and co-determination in Germany shows how important the involvement of employees in company decisions is and how this has developed over time. The experiences of the Weimar Republic and the post-war period have contributed significantly to today's form of co-determination and are a central component of German labor culture.